I love you, Mum. I loved you, Mum, from the day I was born when you were all I knew. I loved you as a toddler, even more so as I grew. I loved you my first day of school as I watched you walk away. I loved you playing on the beach on summer holidays. I loved the way you always fixed me up after a fall. I loved you on my birthdays and Christmas most of all. I loved you buying everything I wanted you to get. I loved you, though I didn't know it got you into debt. I loved you as a teenager, but I never would have said. I loved you, though I might have said I hated you instead. I loved you when you stood by me when I did something bad. I loved the way you cheered me up when I was feeling sad. I loved you, though I left home and moved so far away. I loved you all the times you called, but I didn't always say. I loved that everything you did showed me that you care. I loved that when I needed her, my mum was always there. I loved it when my kids were born, the joy it filled you with. I loved the fact they got to feel the love you had to give. I loved you even more now having children of my own. I loved you, and I wish I hadn't left you so alone. I love my kids so much, and that's the love you felt for me. I loved you, but when you got ill, I wasn't there to see. I loved you as I held your hand when you took your last breath. I love you, Mum. You're in my heart until I meet my death. Your child. When your baby is born, it changes your life, an extension of you and your husband or wife. A brand new person just arrived through the door, and already someone you would kill or die for. So beautiful and small, so fragile and weak, you help them to grow, to walk and to speak. Nothing so strong as the love for a child. No ocean, no wind, no matter how wild. If you parent them right, your best friend till you die. If you don't, you will lose them and ask yourself why. So treasure each moment as if it's your last, because one day it will be, and you can't change the past. Siblings. Do you know someone who shares your father or mother? What you have there is a sister or brother. Best friends for life as you grow up together. There for each other always and forever. Or maybe you don't get along and so you drift apart. With nothing much in common, it was doomed from the start. Your sibling is a stranger. That could be how it ends. You can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. I used to travel. I used to travel in my youth. I used to live abroad. I was always on the move, no chance of getting bored. From Switzerland to Mexico, Egypt to USA. I wasn't happy sat at home. I loved to get away. Then life caught up, my children came, and so I settled down. For 20 years I worked a job and lived in just one town. Now my kids are adults and they're doing their own thing, which means that if I want, I can continue travelling. So if you see a nomad who shows signs of middle age, it might be me. My storybook of life has turned a page. The cost of living. They say that it's a free world, but we have to pay to live if we want the basic comforts that society has to give. We work for half our life and still we barely have enough. It shouldn't have to be like this. It shouldn't be so tough. Time is our most precious asset. Don't throw it away by working all the hours you can for very little pay. Obey the laws and pay your tax. Don't step out of line, say the overprivileged powers that be. We live by their design. While they get fat and grow their wealth, a house in every town, they make the laws that tie us up and keep us trodden down. They go on hunts and shoots with other toffs they know from school. To them we mean so little. Every one of us a fool. We live a kind of slavery. We need to break the chains. To choose another way of life, we need to use our brains. Instead of working all your life to get the rich more wealth, think of opportunities to get rich for yourself. Even if you don't get rich, that might not be your dream. At least find a way to live your life that doesn't make you scream. If what you're doing makes you happy and pays for what you need, then you're living at a cost that doesn't fund another's greed. Free to be me. I've just packed up my life, now I live in a van. I needed to change, be a different man. It's something I've wanted since my 40s began. People told me I can't, but I have, so I can. I've been wanting a more simple, easier life. My children are grown and I don't have a wife, so there's no one to stop me escaping the strife of the rat race. I've cut my way out like a knife. I'm bound to be challenged, I say bring it on. Now I'm free to be me, so I'll sing my own song. There'll be times when I think that I'm doing it wrong, but I'll power through, knowing it's making me strong. Don't think that I'm homeless, that just isn't true. I've got a bed and a kitchen, even a loo. My home's where I park, it's a room with a view. Not stuck in the same place forever, like you. I'm not a freeloader, I'm paying my way. I still need to buy fuel and food, that's okay. If I need an income, I'm sure there's a way, while enjoying my life on the road every day. I had the same job for 25 years, just about breaking even, sometimes in arrears. My stability drowning in frustrated tears. Now I've broken the chains, all of that disappears. So if you've been thinking that you need a change, don't leave it too late. It isn't so strange. Doesn't have to be van life, your choice is free range. And it's a lot easier than you think to arrange. The bored bus driver. I'm driving round in circles. I see the same roads every day. Every morning the same people I'm helping on their way. I pick them up quite early and take them into work. And when they're done, I take them home. It's driving me berserk. Then there's the oldies with their passers, the ones that we call twirly. They know damn well, but still they ask, can I get on or am I too early? Even at the weekend I usually have to work, commander of my bus like a deluded Captain Kirk. I sit for hours in traffic, no chance of keeping time, then angry questions why I'm late as if I'd caused a crime. And noisy school kids jumping on like monkeys in the wild, always being told I should cheer up because I haven't smiled. The night duties are worst, there's always someone spoils my shift. The drunken group presenting jokes as if giving me a gift, or the aggressive clown who stares me out and doesn't want to pay. All I can do is sit and nod, avoiding an affray. Then going home, too tired to eat, too awake to go to bed. All the names I've just been called revolving in my head. The constant concentration on the roads around the town, watching out for stupid drivers all the time, it wears me down. The many near misses I've avoided every day. People's lives are in our hands, it's not reflected in our pay. Always an inquisition when we make a small mistake. Never any recognition for the good choices we make. The restroom banter thinly veils the racist, sexist jokes, or constant talk of buses from the other bored old blokes. I need to leave this place and go and find another job. I've been hearing things like that for years coming from my gob. Yet here I sit, my flame's gone out, I can't relight my fire. But never mind, it's only 20 years till I retire. Freedom. Do you think you have freedom to make your own choice? The place where you live, the job that you do? When it comes to decisions, do you have a voice? When you speak for a purpose, are you listened to? If the answer is yes, then you should rejoice, because most of us aren't as lucky as you. You've heard the expression, it's a free world. That's not strictly true, there's always a cost. Nothing's for nothing with details unfurled. If you think that you've won, then somebody's lost. You're given a necklace beautifully pearled, paid in full by the oysters whose lives have been tossed. If you're a free spirit, you might disagree. You're living off-grid, so you've broken away. Free from the rules of society. While everyone's working, you're happy to play. But that land or that van where you live wasn't free. So to covet your lifestyle, you still have to pay. Maybe you see freedom in a more literal sense. You're not locked in prison, you're nobody's slave. But you answer to someone on both sides of the fence, whether rolling in money or struggling to save. So it could be true freedom will only commence once that final payment is made and we retire to our grave. Van life. We're on the road, no fixed abode. It's how it's meant to be. We drive and then we park, and that's our home. Not to worry, never hurry is our philosophy, forever seeking new places to roam. From Budapest to Liverpool, from Monaco to Fife, enjoying all the sights along the way. The joy it's giving while we're living our very best van life. We wouldn't have it any other way. Claire has to work, no time to shirk, she'd better park her van. Her clients need reports she has to write. While she sets up, she'll make a cup of coffee in the pan and think about somewhere to spend the night. This sunny day, there's just no way she'd go back to the strife of working in an office every day. Better still, a digital nomad is her life. She wouldn't have it any other way. Mike drives around from town to town, working where he can. He loves to help with skills he has to give. And when he comes, he brings his home. He's living in his van. No need to find another place to live. In the past, he couldn't last. The stress was running rife. The rent and all the bills he couldn't pay. It's funny how he's happy now, living his best van life. He wouldn't have it any other way. The bloody rain has come again, pounding on his roof, the sound of traffic keeping him awake. To his surprise, he's realised he may have made a goof. This lifestyle is, for him, a big mistake. He gives a groan, 'cause on his own he's not enjoying life. Repairs and fuel he can't afford to pay. His name is Rob. He quit his job and split up with his wife. He's going to have to find another way. Hypocrisy. When you say you love animals but still you eat meat. When you act like you care but you don't give a shit. When you send others forward even as you retreat. When you preach about peace but you're the first one to hit. When you're fanning the flames but you can't take the heat. That's when you know you're a hypocrite. When you call them unhealthy, then you go for a smoke. When you say take your time but you count every minute. When you laugh with the rest but you don't get the joke. When you make them go on even though you just quit. When you tell them recycle but you buy bespoke. That's when they know you're a hypocrite. When you shame someone's weight but you're just as big. When you're not a supporter but you're wearing their kit. When you feel for a dog but not for a pig. When you laugh at their struggle but you're just as unfit. When you call someone weak but you snap like a twig. That's when we know you're a hypocrite. When I say to go out more as I sit in alone. When I state that you shouldn't but I also do it. When I tell you be happy while I'm having a moan. When I preach to save fuel but my lights are all lit. When I type about ethics on a cheaply made phone. That's when I know I'm a hypocrite. I thought I had a friend. I thought I had a friend. I thought we got along quite well. We met on social media and really seemed to gel. We talked about a lot of things and how we got our kicks. Sometimes a little flirty. Sometimes we shared some pics. After a year of chatting, we met in person, face to face. And suddenly, our friendship disappeared without a trace. It's as if I was a stranger, like I'd come to collect a debt. I thought I had a friend. At least, that is until we met. Anxiety. Last night, the same as many nights, I cried myself to sleep. I don't know why. I wish I knew what causes me to weep. Sometimes my thoughts are shallow, sometimes they're very deep, but mostly it just feels the hills of life are way too steep. At times I feel so happy and I want to go outside, but suddenly I panic and I need a place to hide. I give a reason not to go, then wonder why I lied. They think I make no effort, even though I really tried. I wish I wasn't like this. Sometimes I'm so alone. Even when I'm with someone, I feel I'm on my own. Sometimes I can't face company or answering my phone. I want to be more feather-like, but mostly I'm a stone. Sometimes my medication helps, other times it's worse. My suicidal thought bubbles I try so hard to burst. It feels like no one understands, except maybe the nurse. But I know I'm not the only one to suffer from this curse. It gets so overwhelming, all the many pains I feel. But if I start complaining, people think that they aren't real. So I keep it mostly to myself. I try not to reveal that continuing to live like this is losing its appeal. Cancer survivor. So many problems, your life isn't great, everyone is better off than you. Never enough money, your hair's in a state, you're always at the back of the queue. Your feet are cold, your bus is late, so many reasons to make you feel blue. Then you feel the lump that seals your fate, a problem to eclipse the ones you knew. Biopsy confirms you're at stage 3, the diagnosis filling you with dread. Your former trivialities distracted you while the tumours spread. But now it's chemotherapy, the only worry filling up your head. Your future is in jeopardy, the chance is real that you might end up dead. For months the treatment fights your cause. Will it work or is it going to fail? You yearn for your old self that was when you weren't quite so nauseous and pale. It wasn't so bad, that life of yours, now faced with troubles on a larger scale. You'll happily embrace your minor flaws, so please, please let the therapy prevail. Your time is up, results are in. Remission is the word you want to hear. It's left you weak and very thin, but you won, and there's relief in every tear. Now back to life, a major win, though a second wave will always be a fear. So make the most of everything, and celebrate your life with utmost cheer. Homeless. The man on the street with the hat by his feet is asking for some change. The woman walks past, her pace getting fast to take her out of range. The teenager spits in the place the man sits and calls him an ugly name. The school children laugh as they come out the caff and join the spitting game. The man looks down, he feels like a clown, he's trying not to cry. The shame he feels for begging meals from people passing by. A person stops, a pound coin pops into his empty hat. His heart still sank, he nods to thank and gives the ground a pat. 12 months ago, this man named Joe was living with his wife. They ran a bar and had a car, they had a lovely life. Then COVID hit and life turned shit, their marriage went to pot. With no more work, she took the merc and left him there to rot. His heart was broke, he couldn't cope, the bank took back his home. His friends were gone, he had no one, he was homeless and alone. So here he sleeps and sometimes weeps in doorways on the street, fielding bricks and random kicks from late night drunken feet. Now and then he sees the men who used to drink his beer. With eyes downcast, they walk right past as if he wasn't here. And once or twice he'd see his wife out with another man. That's when he felt his heart would melt and crumple like a can. So this is Joe with nowhere to go, and he's just one of many who walks the streets with worn out feet, begging for a penny. Some people care, but most just stare and wish that they were gone. But it's only chance and circumstance. It could be anyone. Do you care? Do you care if your sandwich costs someone their life? Do you care if the woman in your bed is someone's wife? Do you care where things go when you've thrown them away? Do you care if someone gets upset because of things you say? Do you care that people suffer just because of where they live? Do you care that beings die because you take instead of give? Do you care that folk are bullied for the colour of their skin? Do you care that someone has to lose for you to get a win? Do you care about the workers who make the things you buy? Do you care if choices that you make could cause someone to cry? Do you care about another soul or only for yourself? Do you care if doing what you do affects somebody's health? Do you care what kind of person you've turned yourself into? Do you care that if you don't care, nobody cares for you? Fuck you. Fuck you if you look down on the colour of a skin. Fuck you if you think that an abortion is a sin. Fuck you if you think that hitting people is okay. Fuck you if you hate somebody just because they're gay. Fuck you if you victimise the helpless and the young. Fuck you if you see the act of bullying as fun. Fuck you if someone's hurt because of things you do. Fuck you, in case you missed it, what I'm saying is, fuck you. Getting older. I can't wait till I'm older, said the toddler to his mum. Neither can I, his mother told him as she wiped his bum. I wish I was a teenager, the youngster told his dad. Take your time, no need to rush, I like my little lad. I can't wait till I'm 18, the teenager told his friends. I'll get to drink and stay all night until the party ends. Roll on graduation, the student told himself. With my degree, I'll get a job and start to build my wealth. I think I'm looking older, the young man told his wife. It happens to us all, she told him. That's the way of life. I wish I wasn't middle-aged, the man thought in his head. He gave a groan as he sat up and stumbled out of bed. I'd love to be a kid again, the old man told his nurse. You can be, in your memories. Cheer up, it could be worse. Middle age. I used to think that middle age meant old and past your best, but now I'm there, I think I'm still quite young. It's true I've lost my hair and I need more time to rest. On life's ladder, I'm only on the middle rung. My beard's gone grey, my eyebrows have a life all of their own. The hair I lost is sprouting out my nose. I love the peace and quiet when I'm sitting all alone, reflecting on the things in life I chose. Outside I'm in my 50s, inside I'm 25. My vegan diet is keeping age at bay. I like to run, I still have fun, it's great to be alive. I find something to laugh at every day. Sometimes the mirror reminds my inner self of my true age, or a photo taken when I didn't know. But life's a storybook, another day, another page. You never know which way the plot will go. If I could live my younger life with the knowledge I have now, I'd make the most of every chance that came. But no regrets, I'm proud of who I am, I'll take a bow, and I hope that you can also do the same. Right gender, wrong body. This child is Billy, though born with a willy, she knows that she's a girl. Although she's tried, the girl can't hide, her head is in a whirl. It's not a choice, she had to voice the feelings that she had. Her parents laughed and called her daft, a stupid little lad. This faithful wife has had a life as normal as the next. She played the part with all her heart, as people would expect. But deep inside, she's cried and cried, and here's the reason why. Her whole life long has been so wrong. She ought to be a guy. The young man there with the wavy hair has realised his fate. His life as male has been a fail. Instead of Ken, she's Kate. She's grown some breasts and wears a dress so everyone can see. And when she can, she'll lose the man she wasn't meant to be. Uncle Clive is 95 and always lived alone. His funny ways and things he says have left him on his own. He's so confused and just not used to the life he's had so long. He feels ashamed, though not to blame. His gender came out wrong. Ali Joe just doesn't go for he, her, she or him. So that's why they identify as only they or them. Neither male nor female, entitled to their say. Accept it or reject it, not your business anyway. Please understand this if you can, and don't be quick to judge. It isn't fun to mock someone, so give your heart a nudge. We can't conceal the way we feel, it's not something we choose. If trapped inside, no need to hide, you have no time to lose. We can't select, but can reject our gender after birth. It's how you feel that makes it real, and gives your life some worth. So call a halt on your default assignment if it's wrong. And every day, live life your way, singing to your own song. I killed a man. Last week I killed a man. I took away his life. I didn't know him, never meant to cause him any strife. I've heard he was a cheerful man, generous and kind. He's gone because of what I did. It's messing up my mind. He had 2 kids. Their lives are broken up because of me. The signs were there, but at the time I didn't want to see. I'm so ashamed. I didn't mean to do this awful thing. I'd had a drink which led me on to deal the fatal sting. He isn't dead, but all the same it's like I used a knife. Last week I killed a man by sleeping with his wife. Alone. The man sits by his window watching people going by. He's never met his neighbours. He doesn't even try. He shies away from company and then he wonders why. He sits alone and watches them and feels like he could cry. The old lady has got dressed up. She's waiting for a man. He's on his way with groceries delivered from his van. They have a little chat and then he's gone. His name is Dan. It's the highlight of her week, a week that only just began. The boy is in the playground. He wants the day to end. He has no one to talk to. He doesn't have a friend. The children call him names. He has no choice but to defend. They attack because he's different. But why should he pretend? The woman eats her dinner watching telly by herself. She feels so lonely. Why has she been left upon the shelf? The dating apps are damaging her fragile mental health. She's rich with love and wants to find someone to share her wealth. Grandad is sleeping in his chair, dreaming of happy things. There's no chance he'll be woken by the phone that never rings. He doesn't mind. He still gets joy from thoughts his memory brings. Of his late wife, he still can hear her voice each time she sings. Auntie has a big old empty house that's full of cats. She doesn't want a man around. Most of them are twats. She's glad she has no children, the needy little brats. Just animals for company and faceless online chats. The girl goes through a lot of men. She's never on her own. Finishing with one, she calls another on the phone. She has the pick of any man she's offering a bone. But still, deep down, she feels as if she'll always be alone. Life and death. Have you ever witnessed someone being born? The miracle of life in action? Your baby, a piglet, a kitten, a fawn, to name but a tiny fraction of every species, all new life on earth is worth the same to their mother. To experience the pain and the joy of their birth, we all feel the same as each other. Have you ever witnessed somebody die, the inevitable ending of life? A relief, a surprise, a painful goodbye. Every species feels the same strife. As long as they're loved, they're never forgotten. A parent, a child, an animal, a friend. In time you will heal, but it feels so rotten. Their life story reading a final, the end. Happy Valentine. Happy Valentine to you, though it might mean note, waking up alone in an empty home, making your own breakfast no doubt, social interaction of a garden gnome. Nobody to hug you and take you out, no romantic break in Paris or Rome. Nobody to cause you to scream and shout, pulling out your hair like a broken comb. Happy Valentine to you if you have someone, morning sex and breakfast in bed, somebody you can depend upon for a kiss and a cuddle, an occasional head. Make the most of it before it's gone, replaced by memories of love instead. Then you'll be back to living verse 1, but that's not so bad, as I've already said. Happy Valentine to you and your animals, same as any other day for all they care. Licks and kisses from your furry pals, same as any other day, they're always there. Nobody loves you more, your little guys and gals, as long as you look after them and treat them fair. You know where you are with their morals, they'll pee on the carpet, the bed, or anywhere. Happy Valentine from me to you. It doesn't mean much, just another day. Whether you're happy or feeling blue, resting, working, or going to play. You're not alone, we're all in the same queue, on our journey through life, finding our way. There's always someone who cares about you. Embrace it, share it, come what may. Dating. I got a date. It's been so long, I just can't wait. I met her in the superstore. I've never seen her there before. She said she'd meet me here at 8. It's 10 to now, so I'm not late. I really like that top she wore. Is that her coming through the door? It wasn't her. She's still not here. I think I'll get another beer. 9:05 and still no show. Should I wait or should I go? I've been stood up, my biggest fear. My first date in over a year. I'd gone to bed, an all-time low. Will I date again? I just don't know. Another date. We met online. I think this time will work out fine. We really seem to get along. I don't see how it can go wrong. We both agreed to meet at 9, and here she is. A very good sign. Oh no, already something's wrong. She's giving off an awful pong. She's put me off her with that smell. I can't ignore, I'll have to tell. She slapped my face and left again. I see the clock says 10:15. Embarrassing, that date was hell, but maybe it was just as well. It seems easy for other men. I'm never gonna date again. I've had 3 more dates since that night. I never seem to get it right. One called me short, one looked like Nan, and one turned out to be a man. I'm a hetero man of average height. Maybe you can help my plight. Please let me know if you think you can. I'll pick you up. I have a van. All I ask is please be there. And if you're taller, I don't care. Just females, please. That's it, I think. Oh, one more thing. Try not to stink. So if you think we'd make a pair, let's meet. It doesn't matter where. Rescue my ego from the brink. I'll buy you dinner and a drink. Are you happy? Are you happy? Does your lifestyle leave you feeling glad? Or is it disappointing and you're mainly feeling sad? Regretting your decisions of the choices that you had. You thought they would be good for you, but most just turned out bad. And looking back, it seems as if you must have been quite mad. It's not too late to change. Your future isn't ironclad. Just do something different and change your life a tad. It could mean going somewhere or a click on your mousepad. The number of decisions yet to come are myriad. Our first time. The first time we met, I was lost for words. Stuttering and spluttering, I felt so absurd. You saw through my awkwardness, gave me a chance, even after you saw my attempts at a dance. The first time we held hands, the goosebumps I had, the closeness we felt, it drove me half mad. There was nowhere on earth I would rather have been, no other face I would rather have seen. The first time we kissed, I'll never forget, the blood running through me like fuel through a jet. I remember it clearly, the where and the when. I also remember we did it again. The first time we made love was well worth the wait, though a few more attempts altered worthwhile to great. Our bodies entwined like the limbs of a tree, our movement in rhythm like tides of the sea. The first time we argued, I thought we were done. It felt like you'd shot out my heart with a gun. The first time we made up was such a relief, the sex and the kisses replacing the grief. The first time we realised that we had grown old, together so long with our memories of gold. Our love growing stronger with every year. Not the first time I'll tell you, I love you, my dear. Stronger than you think. When good times come so seldom that you miss them if you blink, you're stronger than you think. When someone lets you down again and you feel your heart sink, when there's turmoil in your soul but you say you're in the pink, you're stronger than you think. When you're trying to stay sober but you really want to drink, when you feel you're in a trap like a poor defenceless mink, when the armour that you wear is developing a chink, you're stronger than you think. When your circle of friends starts to dissipate and shrink, when things that used to smell so good are kicking up a stink, you're stronger than you think. When you're struggling to cope and you're teetering on the brink, you're stronger than you think. Raining. The rain is pounding down while I'm sitting in my room, watching through the window as the black clouds start to loom. At least I'm warm and cosy as I listen to the drums, and not stuck outside cold and wet like all the homeless bums. The rain is pounding down, so I'm resigned to my doom of getting soaked through to my skin another day of gloom. Too late to find a shelter after sleeping on the street, with splashes from the puddles made by all the running feet. The rain is pounding down as I'm trying to get to work, running through the puddles as I stumble through the murk, hoping that the bus is warm and isn't running late, wishing that I had a car, now wouldn't that be great? The rain is pounding down, my windscreen wipers are on full. I'm stuck behind a bus, this day is miserable and dull. All the traffic jamming up the roads, it's such a pain. I can't imagine anyone is glad to see the rain. The rain is pounding down, and it's exactly what we need. To feed the trees and plants, it helps to germinate their seed. Without the rain, the whole planet would struggle to survive. So the next time you get rained on, just be glad that you're alive. Man cruel. What do you think would happen if a craft from outer space landed on our world wanting to meet the human race? Would our governments greet them with dignity and grace? Or would the aliens go to prison in an ultra-secret place, interrogated and dissected, gone without a trace? Mankind turns out to be man cruel. That's the fate they'd have to face. Humans rule the world. That's a fact we can't deny. We have complete control which species live and which will die. The majority take pleasure from making others cry. For a minute's taste sensation, they'll put a baby in a pie. We should be called man cruel, because mankind is just a lie, as billions of animals killed each day would no doubt testify. Don't get me wrong, so many people care and are aligned with kindness and compassion in their heart and in their mind, but it's our species as a whole that will dictate how we're defined. We tend to want to dominate any weakness that we find. Some people say they care, but faced with suffering, they're blind. So viewed from that perspective, we're man cruel, not mankind. Environmental health. The earth is a wonderful life-giving host, providing a home and the food we all need. From desert to forest, from mountain to coast, no life is too small, no matter the breed. Evolving with nature to overcome change, ensuring all species can find their own feed. But nature is cruel and a little bit strange for allowing humans to evolve with their greed. Like alien creatures arrived from elsewhere, we've stepped out of nature and invaded our world, destroying all life, both common and rare, backstabbing our planet for a handful of gold. The majority know it but don't seem to care, as long as they have all the comforts they want, dumping in oceans, polluting the air, until we're left with a dead world to die in and haunt. We all need to change, but it might be too late. For decades we've been ignoring the warning. Generations to come will learn of their fate. We've completely fucked up this world they've been born in. We'll never reach the planets. We'll never reach the planets. They're much too far away. Our lifespan and technology are getting in the way. Even if we got to Mars, what is there to do? A few months there, a few months back. I wouldn't join that queue. Mercury and Venus are too close to the sun. It takes years to reach the other ones. That doesn't sound like fun. Outside our solar system, there might be another Earth, but we'd be dead before we got there, so what's that journey worth? So much money spent on finding worlds where we can't live, instead of looking after ours and all it has to give. Vermin. They burrow into everything and steal from all they see. You can't escape these scavengers, they persecute with glee. You offer them a part of what you need to stay alive. They take it, take it, take it, till you struggle to survive. You tell them that you're dying if they don't leave you alone. They kill you anyway, and then they wonder where you've gone. They think your only purpose is to satisfy their greed, that everything's revolving around them and what they need. They'll tell themselves it's not their fault, they're doing what they can, but the world will disagree with the vermin known as man. They even treat their own kind in exactly the same way. In the name of exploration, they make other humans pay, kidnapping whole communities and taking them as slaves, pillaging and killing like genocidal tidal waves. In their quest for domination, they invade another land, leaving all their victims' bodies to be trampled in the sand. And when that's done, in years to come, they'll call their country great, and look down on all the colonies they left in such a state, forever seeking out more ways to be the overlord, but the destruction caused is much more than the planet can afford. Selfishly selfless. I love to help out people, I like to volunteer. It makes me feel quite good inside. It fills my heart with cheer. It's not for thanks or praise, that's not what gives it its appeal. It's more about the happiness my helping makes me feel. So, am I being selfish just to make myself feel good? Maybe I am, but making someone happy warms my blood. So I'll keep on being selfish just as long as it's worthwhile. And hopefully, my selfishness will cause someone to smile. Smile. It's funny how a simple smile can brighten someone's day. It cheers a person up, no need for any words to say. It takes more effort than a frown, but worth it if you do, and quite often you get to see them smile right back at you. Your face lights up, you're so much better looking when you smile. People see your friendly face and imitate your style. They smile at someone else who also carries on the trend. Before you know it, everybody wants to be your friend. First thing in the morning, while you brush your teeth, the mirror sees you smiling up top and underneath. Even if you're grumpy and you get up with a frown, think of something wonderful and turn it upside down. Take your smile out with you and share it with your street. Give a little bit of hope to everyone you meet. There might be people giving up who think that no one cares. Show them that you do. Exchange your smile with one of theirs. As passengers are boarding and they see the driver smile, it makes the bus a happy place to travel for a while. In a busy restaurant, the waitress smiles at you. Your meal will taste much better because you'll be smiling too. The teacher tells the classroom a joke to make them grin. The kids will share it with their friends and smiling scores a win. But be careful at a funeral, hold it back a while, then think about the happy times, remembered with a smile. Message from the Earth. Remember me? I used to be important to your life, but now I'm only getting in your way. I'm your whole world, and dear old Mother Nature is my wife. You try to kill us every single day. We gave you everything you ever needed to survive, yet still you try and take it all away. You're murdering the very things you need to stay alive. You've gone too far, so now I'll have my say. My wife's no fool and can be cruel when taken by surprise. She could destroy you all in seconds flat. But for now she waits, deliberates to see if you will rise to the challenge of resolving all of that. You cut me deep, my flesh you reap with plans that you devise to make your leaders wealthier and fat. You make me bleed at breakneck speed, you're severing the ties like the actions of a selfish, spoiled brat. You came along and think you're strong enough to rule the world after billions of years without you here. But there's a chance your arrogance will leave you in the cold if we let another ice age reappear. You're hurting me, but soon we'll see this legacy unfold. My wife and I are changing up a gear. You best be quick, or we will kick away your meagre hold on survival in this world, have no fear. You humans are the worst by far disease I have to carry, the only ones that give me any pain. The other life, they cause no strife, no attacks I have to parry. Without you, we could all be whole again. You need them all, both large and small, these creatures that you harry. With you gone, all their lives will start to gain. So change it fast, or you won't last. You have no time to tarry. It's your only chance to get us to refrain.